Hello for the very first time, everybody. I definitely didn't accidentally do a public members pre-stream for a few minutes. Anyway, after fixing that, tonight we're building a kit on a live stream. We haven't done that in a while, but we've got the new Axial Builders kit here. I haven't built an Axial kit in a long time. I'm trying to think of the last Axial kit I built. I did the previous base camp builders kit, it was called back then, which didn't make any sense. But I did that one in, like, what would that have been, 2022 or 3? I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the video. But I did that one just before Axial Fest that year. Did it have to be 2023? Camera's flickering too. Anybody else seeing that? I don't see that on my side. Hello again. Hello. Dang it, your own time. Go back and come late. Hello, Pele. Burnout video in the Lincoln since you haven't done one in the vet. You know. Members got screwed out in like 5 minutes. I want a refund. Anyway, so we're going to build this thing tonight. Now, building a kit on live streams is sometimes a bit difficult because it takes a while. It's hard to be entertaining while staring at instructions, but we're going to do that. We got this is a thick manual. It must be a multi-language. Is it? No, it's not. Why is this manual so thick? Okay, we're gonna see how that goes. So, this will be my first Axial kit in a while. It's also going to be my first Axial kit since their manufacturing changes. So, I'm interested to see how that goes versus some of them in the past. Just feel, you know, when you get an RTR after a manufacturing change, you don't necessarily notice the changes of how things feel, how threads feel, and all that kind of stuff. So, we're going to see. Now, it is multi-language. I should say that. What I meant is like an English section, then a German, then a French, then an Italian. Instead, it's just English, German, French, and Italian all on one page because the text is just across the top in all 4 languages. So there you go. Hope you're going all the way painting a body for it. I'm going to finish this kit to its entirety, which does not include a body or mounting wheels and tires. So we're going to start. Oh, this order is all weird. We're starting with shocks. That's the worst. I don't want to start with shocks. No driving video. The bonsai is gone. You are correct. The bonsai is gone. It's outside. It isn't dead. It's just outside and fertilized and in the sun and, you know. So I can't believe they're making us start with shocks. I'm so mad at that. Skip to the next page. Duh. Right? I guess at least I can do the shocks while I have the energy and the motivation, rather than just like getting to it towards the end and being like, but that's okay. Where are my favorite? Oh, there they are. I have like 4 pairs of needle nose pliers in my box here, but I have a favorite pair, and I don't like using anything else. Joseph McCreary, you yourself is entertaining enough. That manual must take after you. Although after I built my H10 kit, I've never built another brand of kit manual. So one of my, I'm not going to say favorite things to do, but something that I've done for a very long time is I keep all of the manuals from the builds. So I have a library of manuals from build, and I only keep one. I don't keep a multiple if I built the same truck a number of times. So, but I have a stack of manuals that is getting so tall. I mean, all the way back to like when my Vetera manuals and things like that. Now, I don't necessarily keep all of the Tamiya manuals because I'll keep one TTO1 rather than like one for this body and one for this body because Tamiya has like 3 chassis. But thank you very much, Lee. 949 Designs. Buy yourself some cheese to go with that wine, Skippy. That was rude AF. What brand are those pliers? That's your favorite. You know what? I'm gonna tell you guys this, and you're probably gonna judge me for it. But hold please, and I'll show you. These are Doyle. Doyle, which is like a I don't know what you want to call it. It's a premium version of the Harbor Freight tools. But I honestly really like these pliers. I'm just saying. Harbor Freight, I know. Now, I do also have a very nice set of snap-on pliers down in the garage downstairs that were sent to me by a guy named Tim. And he sent them like in the foam tray that they come in, and they sit in my toolbox still. And I do enjoy those, but they're bigger. So they're like for this type of stuff, they're not what I use. But yeah, these Doyle pliers actually feel really good. And so there we go. There you go. Are the pricey shocks worth the wait for the rockabilly? Do you mean WAIT weight, or do you mean for the actual heft and physical weight in pounds of a rockabilly? Because if you mean the time, like the weight it takes to get them, I would say yes. Just because my green one, which is right there, is on Prices. And my red one up there is on Vanquish SADs. And I prefer the rockabilly on the like droop style Prices ride better than a sprung setup. Even though that's Vanquish shocks, I love driving that straight axle version with the Prices the best. Now, I will say that that's a portal version and a straight axle version, and I like the straight axle version better. It might not all be in the shocks, but for the rockabilly, straight axle with Prices for me is fantastic. So, Steve is a hell of a guy. He, when I was building the rockabilly, I just told him, the truck didn't exist yet. It existed in the computer. So I told him how I had designed it as far as like length. I go, here's about my collapsed length. Here's about my extended length that I think that the truck will weigh this much, which I was pretty close on. These are the axles. This is what I'm going to plan to run. Let's set it up like that. And he was like, cool. And then he set them up for me and sent it to me. Now, people have asked me like, what's my preferred setup on there? And I tell them, I don't know, because Steve just did it and sent them. And I just tell people to tell him just you get the rockabilly setup that Josh has, because that's all I know about it. I don't know the weight of the oil. I don't know the spring weights. I don't know a damn thing about it. Here's $5 to put into a fund for pliers that don't suck ass. Thanks, Mr. Bassist from hell. I'm telling you, these now, like I have Pittsburgh ones as well, and I will say that these do suck. I have them; they work, but they suck. I've got all kinds of different orange handle, blah blah blah. What are these? These are Doyle as well, and I don't mind these. but these specifically I enjoy. I don't have any Knipex ones like this if they make it. And if they do, I should probably try it because I do love Knipex stuff the best. The oil is 1300 CST, I think. Oh, that's good to know. I should try and remember that. I'm only half sorry that I hurt your feeling. The feeling you have, yeah. Buy some Knipex, they're the best. Okay, I'll get all the, fine, I'll do it. Crescent mini snip plier combo is great. Vampires? You making up words? I don't believe you. What weight shop oil comes with the H10 kit? 30 weight or 35? I think it's printed on the bottle. I don't remember offhand. What are you building? Mr. Schultze, I am building the new Axial SCX10 III builder's kit. I haven't built an Axial kit in quite some time. So this is the new one that they just released. And that's what we're building. 35, I think, not on the bottle. It's not on the bottle. Huh. I thought it used to be on the bottle. I really like the Dixon work shirts. Excellent. Glad you got it, Chris. Glad you like it. They are nice to have. If you guys didn't buy them all, I would have more of them. But we don't get very many of them because they're quite expensive to have made. All right. We're going to green slime all of our O-rings before dropping them in. Make sure we keep these shocks as leak and smooth as possible, leak free. That's a lot of green slime, but that's okay. Get some of that off there. Are those the SP11 cleanliness standards? You've been watching Belzona videos again. So they tell you to put the bottom cartridge on before putting the shock shaft on. I prefer to put the shock shaft through before compressing the O-rings, just for a little bit. If you put it in after, then you're pushing those threads through a compressed O-ring, and you do have a better chance of getting some leakage. Now it feels great. What sim is that? It is a Logitech G Pro wheel and pedal setup on a cheap seat version. And I will say that the seat drives the guys nuts when I'm racing with them, because they can hear the squeaks and rattles from that seat like crazy. And I can't hear any of it through my headphones. So it's probably time for me to upgrade the base of my rig. Slime. I put the slime on, I had extra O-rings in this little pot already. I dropped multiple in at once. So I just plucked it out of there. Dart, putting in after is YVP shot. Putting in after is YVP. I know what you mean. That is, I do personally like to disassemble the lower cartridge. But being a snap ring, it is one of those things that it is hard to tell customers to do. If you disassemble, I don't have, yeah. If you disassemble them before, it really makes it so that those things just don't leak. Okay. So, what slime is that? It is Factory Team Associated. Or I guess it's just called Factory Team, right? Snap ring pliers recommendation. Yep. I believe I'm using the Knipex. I'm going to try and remember the number. Like 1148J0. Damn it. I had it backwards. It is 4811J0. I was so close. I would have been proud of myself if I got that right. 4811J0. Let's see. This stupid weather is going to drain my power. Race Case, are you in Michigan too? Oh, everyone I've heard having power outages is in Michigan. I'm playing context version of Geoguessr. Did you order your lift kit yet? I have not yet. I need to get the stereo done and figure out how much weight we're adding to the back of the Lincoln first. Because that is going to really depend on what I have to do with that rear suspension. Because right now the bags obviously are working just fine. But if I put in too much weight in the trunk, I need to make sure that I get the right amount of lift. And then we got to do bigger wheels and you got to do all that, you know. All right. We get Michigan weather just later in the day. I'm on generator now. Fired up the bamboo. See, that's the priorities that I like. Power went out, fired up generator, printer is going again. Not refrigerator, don't worry about that. It's cold enough outside. The printer, though, doubles as a heater. No hydro, don't care about you. I'm not doing hydro. Oh, wow. Those preload collars are loose. That is wild loose. You see that? You can just flick them down. Usually wouldn't mind those being a little bit more snug so they don't adjust themselves generally up. And taking your preload back out. They don't have an O-ring? No, there's no O-ring groove. There's no spot for an O-ring or anything. And they don't have a locking ring either. The locking ring is usually the other option. Self-adjusting. Yeah. That's a loose one. Okay. We're on to A3 now. Belzona 1111. Look at it. Look it up. Why am I looking up Belzona A111? God. All right. There's our springs. This comes with 30 weight. Grab some plumber's tape. I'm absolutely not doing that. I'd rather have them adjusting than have to look at some extra plumber's tape. What is this? What is? Oh man, Schultze just sent me a photo of Mini Schultze's ride for the weekend. I guess is he racing dirt or asphalt? Green Loctite. I do have green Loctite. Some retaining compound will make sure that those shock adjusters no longer adjust. Throwing in the pivot balls using the Techno shock pliers. Great set of shock pliers. Street stock asphalt. That is sick. I'm late to the party. This thing's straight axle. This is straight axle dart. Excited for 2 new race trucks coming in. Wait, what 2 new race trucks? I guess race trucks, I don't know. So I don't mind. Ah, where'd my battery go? Oh, it's on the charger. That's logical, at least. So let's see. Oh, do these not fit? These rod ends are fatter than normal. Really? That, I'm wedging it on there. I'm not doing this by hand. Oh, God. And then they don't line up well. Would have been easier to do by hand. Never mind. Yeah. Just, God, they're a decent amount fatter, I'll tell you that. Not just a little bit. Put that bit in the May carrot. Just give her, open her up a little bit. Okay. Kyle Wolf, thank you very much. You mean RC10 slime? Everything is RC10. This, I didn't notice that there was 4 cc's of green slime in this package. Pushed that one a little too hard, I think. I hate that we had to start with shocks on this. What a pain in the butt. We need Nicole up to deep reading comments like the good old days. Nicole is down playing with plants at the moment, which was part of our task last weekend, building a new indoor greenhouse for her, for all of her tropical plants. We got it mostly done last weekend, finished some of it this week. I had to modify the cabinet to run electrical and all that stuff through it. And so to do so, I needed to run a hole saw through it. And I only had a 2 5/8 hole saw. So I was like, yeah, I'll just do that. And of course, when I went down, I was a little bit too far back and I like hit a part of the leg base a little bit. I was like, oops. So I was like, that's fine. I'll just make my own grommet basically to cover up all the electrical and all that kind of shit. So I had to make that, and it had a little notch around it to make sure it worked with the foot. Looked pretty good. If you can fix your own screw up, it's not a screw up. That is how I feel about that. B Stone. Are you building this kit for a reason or just for fun? You know, I'm gonna say no reason specifically. Are those shock pliers? Dang, coming up in the world. No vice grips? Nope. We've gone legit. We're on the Naira circuit. I should just fill the shocks now, right? Feels like a little light on the amount of shock oil. But I don't think I'm going to get crazy with working on making sure these things are. I'm not going to like let them sit and bleed out. It's an emulsion shock anyway. It'll be fine. Are you going to trade in after you're done for $40? So I can spend more on a different one? Got to do it the same day, remember. What are your thoughts on 3D printed tire inserts versus foam inserts versus air? Well, air is not an option for me. Air is no good. Tires, the way that our tires are built, they require support. I have run a lot of different 3D printed inserts. I have yet to find one that I actually really liked, other than Black Diamond Scalers. He makes one that is just like the inner of like a 2-stage foam setup. He has an inner one that actually works really well. That is the only one I've liked. I've run a number of fully 3D printed foam setups, and I never liked how they felt. I've ran them from I think almost not every brand, because anybody can 3D print foams now, or inserts. But I just have still not found one that I was like, yeah, I prefer this. This is shockingly bad content. You are so funny, Gunner. We got one shock done. How you feel about that? You can run the shock fluid in the vacuum chamber to air it out. You know what? I don't have a vacuum chamber anymore. Nicole says I can't have one anymore. And so does the HOA for some reason. Plus, I haven't had this iPhone for long enough to be able to put in another claim. Lights out for the sprint. Holy shit. When does the sprint start tonight? I thought it was way later. I really feel like we're going to be out of shock oil by the end of this, but I'm probably wrong. Yeah, we're less than half already. Interesting. 1 hour. Jeez. We're definitely not going to get this thing done before that. Let's see. Yep. The sprint starts now, yeah. I've been telling you that all stream. I can't see all the comments. I see some of them. I just read whatever one is closest to the bottom when I look up. Especially when I'm building a kit, I'm having to half pay attention to this. That's why I usually screw these up. The cellular company? Who said the cellular company? Oh, I guess we do have the top pivot as well, but it didn't say to put that on yet, I don't think. Make sure we build this cap. Whoop. Get in there. I'm currently ahead of you now in the stand. Yes, I'm aware that my first week on Grid Rivals did not go super well. I'm not having great feelings about this week either, with Signs not even making it out of Q1. Okay. I'm hoping there's enough. There must be enough there. They had to have calced that. Sprint. Can you hear me now? I'm pretty sure that was Boost. Or wait, no, was it Sprint? Was the Sprint guy that walked around? Can you hear me now? Oh yeah, Boost was Where are you at? I mean, even Tanya's ahead. Well, all of us. Nicole is ahead of me, and I set her team. Ooh, I should make sure her team is set. Oh, it's too late now. It must be, though. Verizon was, can you hear me now? That's right. Okay. Oh, I hope all these spring rates were the same. Red, red. Red, yep, all the same springs all the way around. There we go. Sparkling water kind of night? No, I've got Cali Squeeze, blood orange. Waiting for your battery on top off. Soul can head to the drift track. I do not approve. All right, so we've got this all looking good. Happy with that. Putting the cap on with the shocks compressed just to make sure we're not hydro locking anything. We got enough in there. Just enough. I hardly ever see commercials anymore. I agree. Honestly, other than F1 this year, with watching it on Apple TV and now having commercials, not super pumped about. Yeah, I rarely see commercials. Have you seen the video on TikTok or Insta with the guys from India launch tires with engines? Yes, I have. I don't get it. It looks ridiculous, but I've done dumb things as well. So I'm not here to judge. But that does look, I do not understand. You can hear a pin drop too. The Verizon guy went to Sprint in 2016 and he took the slogan, dog. Wow. I did not know that. Learn something every day. I haven't used Apple TV for F1. I did hear that you can log into F1, the F1 app with your Apple TV credentials and watch from there. Okay. I don't know. How long are we at? We're 30 minutes in. That's not terrible. Doing okay. The shock's built at least. All right. Bag B. Axles. It is weird. Like, just the little things that you can tell after building previous Axial kits versus these, just like the type, like the feeling and the labels of the bags that they use now. They're much different. I mean, you got to be caring about the bag is pretty minor. But it's just something you noticed after you build so many of the kits otherwise, which has been a lot. So many sub bags in this version of the kit. What's the D bag? The D bag is the chassis. Usually it's the transmission. So people will watch anything these days. Hello, Matt. Let's see what type of Loctite they send, or thread lock, more specifically. They pre-cut the tip? No, they did not. Just making sure. It looked like it. It's fine over there. Oh, it doesn't have the gears aren't lasered anymore. It used to, I think, at least have the tooth count on it. Now they've got a really interesting like machining pattern on the back. Looks very different than their previous ones. Huh. Very noticeable change. We'll see how smooth they are. Hopefully smooth. Comes with a bottle of green grease that looks pretty good, though. How about that trail gear? Don't get Matt started on that. Shit. That's not green, it's purple. I am not colorblind. That is Brian. He is the one who can't see that effing logo. What kind of body am I going to put on it? I don't know. We'll see if it gets that far. Never know. I'll keep it around for when I got the next thought, next project. Maybe. We'll see. Man, I haven't get a chance to watch a stream in a minute. This got me working on a new to me rig, trying to put my own touches on it. Hey, well, welcome back, and have fun working on the rig. Working on new to you. Oh, they changed the bearings too. They're still the same size. They still look like a 7x14 by 3.5, but now it's a metal shield on there. Rather than typically the 3.5s were unshielded for larger balls on the inside. I wonder if this went to a smaller actual ball on the inside. I've never seen a shielded 7-14-3.5 before. Also new. See, so many new things to learn. Can't work on mine now. The K1 is screaming out parts. That's why you need multiple projects all the time. Welcome to Bearing Talk. Acorn Talk is later. Acorn Talk happens on a different Ding Dongs channel, which is fine. Everyone's okay with that. Can't know it all on this channel. My bearing knowledge is my acorn knowledge quite limited. I need to just put some Loctite on a piece of plastic, but I'll do that in a minute. No, later is geography talk. Whew. Let's hope we have time for geography talk. I do love me some geography. My next rig is a mullet kit because I finally got the H-Tech reverse output mod. I saw H-Tech released a GT7 talking more like it. H-Tech released a new mullet cage yesterday. a machined version. I think I like the look of the speedy welded cage more, but the H-Tech machined cage for the mullet is only like $169 or something like that. It's wildly cheap. How about some town car talk? Just making sure to build it proper. We're not cutting corners. You get any new RC4 drive kits sent to you? Absolutely not. That would, but in all fairness, I don't think I ever had RC4 drive kits sent to me. Like even way back in the day. So that is reasonable. Also, though, it would be a bad idea to send those to me because I do not think that they are done very well. So if I was them, I would definitely not send those to me either. Okay, grease. See, that's an interesting one. There's a seal on the inside of this, so you can't just cut off the tip. But I was going to say, it looked like it had a hole already. They won't fulfill their order. That is right. Oh my God. This is very runny. Oh no, it was just like the top of the mustard bottle. And just had some liquid on top. I don't hate this grease. I don't know if it's quite as sticky, but yeah, it's very thin. I think I would like this grease more in a transmission. It's very thin on an axle. It's okay. Go. Next. Or Squirrel Drive, Axial, Avis, ban. I'm not banned from Axial. Here we is. I've never been impressed with supplied grease. I mean, I like the grease in the Vanquish kits a lot. I usually use all of the bottles of that. Like, I'll keep them around. Not banned yet. The Vanquish blue grease is very good. It's very sticky. It's got a good consistency. I like it a lot. How much weight do you run in the front of your Rockabilly? I run brass knuckles is all. No weight in the wheels, no added hub hardware or weight. Ooh. There we go. Now it's spinning. Now it's breaking in. Just needed to seat itself a little better. Udder butter. I've ran it before. It was fine. Not something I would buy again, but it was fine. Honestly, it's like I have plenty of access to the Vanquish grease, so I use that. Otherwise, I was just using Slepco, like full-size axle grease from a brand called Slepco. which was great stuff. So if you've ever been around the full-size world of things and you've used that stuff, it's pretty impressive. It is sticky. It's got a bit of a smell to it, if you can get over that. You're going to set backlash on those gears? Yeah, I'm going to paint a pattern. We'll run a pattern on it and see how close we can get it. I've never actually set backlash on a full-size axle. Never done it. Always only ever had that done. The old Tamiya grease was crap back in the day. Always, yeah. The like white lithium grease. No, never. I never used that. Belzona made grease. Yeah. It's so easy. Is it? I've never, interesting. I've never done it. Peanut butter. I added some more underdrive to my You see, I do love a little bit more underdrive. I think I might still have some Swepco in here. Yep. Swepco 101 Molly grease. There you go. Good stuff. I have the regular blue Vanquish stuff as well, but I keep all of the kit bottles of the Vanquish grease because I actually really like the kit bottles. I think I like them more than the tub. So that's why I keep those. Where did you get DeWalt gyro at? I've had them all for quite some time. I keep a lot of them just so that I don't have to change the tips out. That's why. There we go. Setting our. Now I don't put Loctite on the set pins that go in the hexes because the hexes are retained by the wheel hex and I never want that to break off. So that is my recommendation for you on that. I always use marine grease. Seems to work pretty well. Marine grease, yeah. Marine grease or bearing grease in general. Like, yeah. Fitted diffs on my quarter scale G6R4 Metro. What? It popped through. And it pushed the crud out between the prop shaft. Ran almost 20 minutes. Have you noticed any difference in the plastics yet? No, not yet. But I haven't. The only thing I've screwed on in plastic is the diff cover. I guess these on the outside, but I didn't notice anything on those yet. I think I built B1 and B2 technically backwards, but that's fine. So is this stream all about RC? So weird. Agreed. Now, I assume that these gears are the same on both, even though it said B1 and B2. I know that the Coyote version had some overdrive built in with the gear sets, but I'm guessing this one does not because there is no markings on the gear to be able to tell. And that would be real not cool if they did that otherwise. I hope this will help you remember to put the 3-gear motor plate spur cover in the outlet area. You know what, Timmy? I will remember to do that. We'll try and do that for you tonight. Flick it good. D-bag before sprint race? 40 minutes? I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. I mean, we're going to have the axles done in a few minutes. Lucas Red and Tacky works good. Lucas Red and Tacky, one of the best greases ever made. I fully agree with you on that. That's there's no argument you will get from me on that side. If you could get it in a more manageable size, or in a, maybe you can now. I just remember before we had to buy these giant freaking tubs or tubes of it, and it was so hard to have around. But that was many years ago. I had the same tub of Red and Tacky for like 10 plus years. I don't even think I actually ended up using all of it. I think I ended up like spilling something into it or onto it from like a bunch of junk, dust, grease, dirt shit got pushed into it from like on top of something. I think I threw it away. That gear set feels infinitely better than that rear did. Like this one is wildly smooth. That feels much better. We are only on page 12 though. What the shit? Oh, does the bearing pocket? Oh, the bearing pocket's in the knuckle or the C-hub? Weird. I do not remember that. I'm sure it was like that before, but I did not recall that. Makes making those C-hubs a lot harder. I'll tell you that. So short side's going to get that guy. Oh. Did you? Shit, I didn't grease it, did I? All this grease time or grease talk, and I didn't freaking grease it. Idiot. So much better than putting it in my hand. Ah, no, you didn't. Yeah. Greased. I love olives and gyros and tzatziki. Yep. A severe lack of grease in there. This shit's thin. We're just going to really layer it on and let her run down. If we haven't proved tonight already that I'm good at making mistakes, there you go. Rookie mistake. That's Greek talk. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Grease talk? Windex is the answer for everything. There we go. What in the John Travolta and Olivia Newton-Brown talk is going on? Now we're gonna go up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the one I love. I always make at least one rookie mistake every time I build a kit. Yeah. You know, the thing is that if you don't do it on a live stream and you don't remember that you made the mistake, it doesn't count. It's so much faster to build a kit if you're not on a live stream. I almost added grease zerks to my diffs. That is the nice thing about the Vanquish rear diff. There's that little screw. Let me just take that thing out. Okay. One. Come on. Come on. 35 minutes until lights out. Oof. That's okay. I watched Sprint Quali this morning when I woke up at 7. I was slightly later to work than normal. Not by much, just barely. It's okay. I stopped and picked up breakfast on the way in to make up for it. I had oatmeal. 7 my ass. That's too early. That's when I woke up. I didn't get out of bed. I just woke up. I watched Quali in bed on my phone. Just for you, though, right? No, not just for me. I got it for everybody who was working today, which was only 4 of us. Well, 4 of us like in the office. So I knew it. What? Who stops and picks up oatmeal? I like oatmeal. What's wrong with oatmeal? Oatmeal, cream, brown sugar. They gave me raisins too. I didn't use them. I'm not a raisins with my oatmeal kind of guy. Now I will say, typically I don't get oatmeal to go. I like it, but I will eat oatmeal in person at the location anytime. Thoughts on Cletus's new giveaway combo? Oh, it's so good. C6ZR1, still a Z, but ZR1, and the Duramax. Like, I am here for it. Now, I didn't purchase anything today. That doesn't mean I'm not going to purchase anything, but I am going to wait a few days at least. That way I get a better chance of, like winning a turbo and the truck. Cup. I'm a cup of brown sugar with my oatmeal. I just like a little bit of brown sugar on the top. Cream. Good. Love it. There's 7 link bags. Holy shit. C5, C4, C3. Oh my God. That is excessive. I might have too many power drivers on the table. Whoops. What did I do? I hid everything. You guys still there? You're there. There you go. All right. C1. It has 1 link in it. Here's the noticeable changes to these Axial kits. Okay. Which one? What are we building here? Does it say? They also put flats on these links. I mean, it makes it easier to grab for sure if you're not building with other tools, but I'd rather not with that look. Okay. 58 millimeters. I hope that they don't want to leave that link gap. Oh, do I have calipers? Yeah, I do. I think that they do. That seems like not a fan. Now, if I don't put the pivot ball in, oh God, these things just don't fit. Oh, wait, these are probably opposite threaded. Are they? Yeah, they are. Oh, they're turnbuckle style. God, I hate turnbuckle style. And this drives me nuts. I know that turnbuckle style people probably like. I just hate turnbuckle style. Where's my blue? There it is. Ugh. That's handy, easy to adjust. Like you don't adjust links on ours. Like if we adjusted links like a race car where you're adjusting, camber or toe, like great, but like you don't adjust links on these cars like that. It's just I disagree strongly with that argument. I hated when Axial put the hole through the links, but I dislike this even more somehow. I thought that the hole looked bad. Hopefully I think this looks worse. It's okay. Those links don't turn on. Let's see. Oh, wow. I nailed that 58 millimeter. Let's double check it. Just going by the 1-to-1, I'm dead on. Pert near. 57.3. Close enough. Good enough for the girls we go out with. It's better than set screws in a hollow tube. That it is absolutely better than. Remember your roots. Oh my God, those were awful. Those were the worst. Scale drawing, not to scale. Do you guys remember when that happened? I believe, was that, what car did that happen on from Axial? I'm pretty sure that was a Rich project. And I'm pretty sure it was like the worst manual. The worst manual. It was the Capra, the original Capra kit. The manual was so bad. And I remember harping on it. And then I remember Rich telling me about it. He goes, yeah, I only proofed it from the PDF on my monitor. So I never checked that stuff. And I was like, that was why. So it got fixed later, I think, but close enough. Watches the truck lay down the trail. Now, we're not going to see that much different. But what was the reason I was wondering is because in the 1-to-1, you can see that it shows threads exposed where it doesn't on other ones. So I was wondering if that was, but yeah, how you're supposed to build this, you have to leave thread exposed on it. Now, that is most likely, because this link, if I'm guessing, is made to work with either a straight or a portal. And to fix the portal geometry, you probably shrink it down. But now you just end up with that exposed thread type situation. Why not just make it the correct length? That's my guess why. I don't know, but if I'm guessing, it's because they're trying to make it work for whatever they can without correcting it or making another part. So they can sell one link kit, for example. Rich comes in with a shut it, Josh, 3, 2, 1. He knows what he did on that one. Now this one's a bent rod in anyway, so we can't do the power driver. My drill's downstairs. Damn it. Otherwise, you can chuck the drill on the other side of the link. Come on now, build it right. I'm going to buy it at the swap meet. Why taper the link so that there's a hard edge at the end of the link? I don't know. I don't prefer that either. So see what they're talking about. You see how this link comes down and it's got this taper at the end. But when you do that, it leaves this harder exposed edge. Now the rod end tapers down a little bit as well, but they still don't both taper down equally. You should have just matched the rod end since it tapers down to that, but they didn't. Yeah. For what we pay for your paint job. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Freaking turnbuckles. Why they should taper is what they should taper is the beginning of the threads. Oh yeah, the beginning of the threads doesn't actually have a good taper, does it? I see that now. There we go. It should match because it's butted up. Yeah. So like this is this link here. You tighten these things down all the way to the shoulder. A turnbuckle makes sense if you're trying to leave in an adjustment area. These you're tightening down to a shoulder. So don't do a turnbuckle style. Make any goddamn sense. But I will say that the link itself feels good. Nice stainless, beefy. It's, that side of it feels nice. The machining on it is good. It's probably continuous, like the bar itself is just the raw finish and then tapered down from there. But like the links look and feel good. They've got nice heft to them. Feels decent. Is it ferrous stainless or not? Nope. Some stainless has some magnetic to it, but but I don't know what the right term for that is. Not all stainless is non-ferrous or something like that. I don't know. Okay, now bag C3. Should have known. Heat the ends of the thread just a little bit before you start thread them in. Just don't. No, I'm not doing that. That is too much work. The amount of time it would take me to heat them, I could already have them started. Oh, and then this one's an M3. This is going to be our panhard for sure. The magnetic stuff is chainless. I've always hated the freaking panhard link on the SCX3. Now, at least this one doesn't have that wild, like, dog leg type design. This is wildly annoying. Grab a screw real quick. There we go. Makes that much easier. Is it a panhard shock tower combo? Ooh, I don't know that. I guess we'll see when we get there. Doing electronics or just building the kit? I highly doubt that we will get to electronics on tonight's stream. We can leave in a little bit of thread on that side. Hopefully it's not reverse thread. This side is reverse thread. That side was not. Is there any upgrades in that kit? I don't know that yet. I didn't get a great chance to comb the listing yet. So, I mean, I haven't ran into anything yet. The gears seem pretty standard. Kelshi odds that he's ever that this is ever driven. Ooh. The only they're not high. I'll tell you that. Ooh, we got to go a lot further than that. See, now which side was the link? They show threads exposed on this. However, I'm damn near buried and I'm still not short enough. There we go. Okay, good enough. 19 minutes until Geoguessr. Can you talk about what is next in the pipeline for build alongs? Man, yes, I'm still working on trying to get the U41 off the ground, and honestly, everything has just been time, like the amount of free time that I've had and time management and projects that I've taken on, both RC and outside, as far as like other contract type work, has been more busy than normal. So unfortunately, that is what has caused my even more slow start to this build along. I wanted it done in summer. I don't even remember, but sometimes that happens, I guess, and that's just where we are. Sprint watch along while building. Oh, it's not a terrible idea. That's good. There we go. Contract work. So a new CNC ad coming soon. I consider that to be RC work. No, more like design or 3D scanning type work. Stuff like outside of my typical stuff that you guys see. Okay, check that. It's pretty good. I dislike this multi-bag setup. I need a 3D scanner. You know, I absolutely love 3D scanning. It is wildly powerful. However, the amount of work that it takes to use a 3D scan or to learn how to use a 3D scan after the fact is not a small amount of work. It's a lot of effort. And it's like anything, you get better and better as you do more and more of it. But it ain't easy. I'll tell you that. Josh, sounds like you're moving into my side hustle. Oh, you know, it's always, you try and find a 3D printable Azusa. No. The scanning is the easy bit. The real work, yeah. 3D scanning itself is pretty easy once you get the rhythm of it, especially once you get a good scanner or the scanners that are being released today that are just much better than they used to be. So that's the big thing. 3D scan is often the way to get data otherwise. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like a 3D scan just gives you all of this stuff that like really trying to measure by hand would be while not impossible, nearly impossible to do accurately. When you're talking about items like in space that are distances and angles away where you don't have a good datum, it's just it's such a cheat code as far as that type of thing goes. Or an organic shape, like try measuring a body that has wild shaping and things like that. It's, it would be very difficult to do in a way that you could be accurate at it. So that's where 3D scanning is just such an amazing tool, and it's come so far so fast, just like everything else. But these links are making my hands hurt. My body has wild shaping, and I had no intent on having it 3D scanned. Chris Kelly sounds curvy. 3D scanning to map cave. This is the only way near impossible before tech. Oh, I mean, that isn't even a thought of where my head was at. That is very cool. Yeah, I mean, other than 3D scanning, the only way you really would have been able to do that is like photogrammetry. But I think photogrammetry and 3D scanning were not necessarily that far from each other. Go. Round's not that hard to replicate. Round? That round doesn't really, a round, like a body that's flowy, is very hard to accurately replicate. You have any plans to circle back to the Woods Runner? Yes, I absolutely will. I absolutely will get back to that. And I photogrammed kind of work, but 3D scanning is so much more yeah, that's the thing. The accuracy and the speed now. Oh, it's so wild. Where are your shock pliers? They're right here, but I don't want shock pliers on these links because, for one, they're like a 5 mil diameter, maybe 6, which doesn't match the size of the shock plier, and I don't want to deform the jaws on that. So I have another set that I could use, but these new Axial links, they milled this flat on, so you can grab it with a set of pliers, which is handy only since they did these turnbuckle style links, which is one of my least favorite things. I'm very displeased with turnbuckle style links. Still haven't seen any of the BRB videos that you were talking about. I know. The BRB videos are going to be in the same BRB series as BRB. This is annoying. These links have a weird bend to them. I'll flip that way. BRB will BRB. I bought a 3D scanner back in the Robo 3D days. Was this fold-out briefcase type thing with a turntable? Was trash. Actually, Vanquish had bought one that was it might have been the exact same one. And yeah, it absolutely was trash. Not cheap either. Few $1,000. But yeah. Now, if you spend a few $1,000, you're getting a almost industrial quality scanner. What bag did I just open? C6. Which way do these go? Opposing direction. Oh, but you don't tighten these all the way? No way. Oh, yeah. I don't like that at all. Okay, maybe I was wrong about why they did these portal, like why they did these links that weren't the full length. Let's see if that's right. 88.8. Nope, even more. There we go. You have to have that much, sorry, see how much, that much thread exposed at each end. That is a bummer. Back it up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh, I don't love that they make you leave that much link exposed. That's a bummer. I don't care for that. I don't know if I like that. Maybe it's that way to fine tune length. You're not going to, you know, it's not like you're going to adjust wheelbase in that level of that finite difference. You know, when you're adjusting wheelbase for a body, you're looking at 5-6 millimeters. You know, this is not accomplishing that. I would not say, and if that was the intention, I would say that was a poor decision. It's not a rock. It's a rock crawler, not a carpet racer. Yeah, I'm not keen on that. Yeah. I honestly would think that I had the wrong link if I didn't, like, if I opened them all and I was like supposed to build to that length. I wish they would fix that. They know the right length. I wonder if it's for a different, like if the portal version of it could have those different lengths, just because the way that the portal box can go down and kick, it can extend the wheelbase, so they might be shortening it. I don't care for that. I'm a very critical person, though. This is fine for, 999% of people. That is all. Okay, there's those. My comp color has an adjustable links camber toe except for different courses or terrain. This isn't a comp crawler. And adjustable, sure, in some ways. This isn't a comp crawler. It's a trail truck meant to be built by just about everybody. I would protest this decision if I was going through this project. The links are probably sourced from another kit. The company manufacturer that's cheaper to have. Yeah, that's why that's what I'm saying, is that the portal version of this type of truck probably uses these same links, and they shorten the link to make up for like the additional wheelbase of the portal axle creates. So they just use one link set that works for both. So yeah, I would guess that that's the case. I just wouldn't have guessed. Okay, This is an example of what I mean too. Like, does this? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean they're all going to be the same. This link also has reverse cut threads. So we have this is a bent link. You're not going to do a turnbuckle style adjustment on a high clearance link. Like, I will take the argument that those can be done like a turnbuckle. Like, you wouldn't. It's a bad argument, but it's reasonable. This is silly, and I hate it. I'm going to use my old shock pliers to hold this link instead. Okay. 4-minute warning. I'm going to be late. You wouldn't, but they did. I'm going to say that I'm mad about it. I don't remember if their link rod ends have been fatter like this for a long time or not. I don't remember if this is the design that they've had. Said it's been a while since I've built an axial kit. F1 tonight. F1 is tonight. It's at 3. It starts in 3 minutes in China, which, not gonna lie, I could just hold, please. Do I have? I don't have that loaded in here. I'm going to just see if I can pop it on up above in, you know, do I have? I'm not logged into that. Let's see if I can log into F1 TV. Where did you get your shelf? The shelf behind me? I built it. I welded it together, and I had the wood CNC'd to my design, and I wired the LEDs. I designed it specifically for this room. So that is why it fits in here like it does. So watch live. I'm gonna put her on mute though. Oh no. Hold please. I have to switch cameras. You're gonna lose my face for a second here. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Now I probably look a little bit different, but there's a thing with a lot of like streaming services like F1 TV, Netflix, a lot of those. So I use OBS, which is a program that I use to like bring my camera inputs and stuff like that in. So if you're running OBS, which can do like screen recording, those windows will not display anything. So that was the case. I opened up F1 TV and it was just nothing. No face sounds like a win. 3 monitors. I have multiple monitors happening here as well. The one that I'm reading you guys on, the one that's got now F1 above, which is fine. It's just a sprint race. So no sharing. Yeah, they do not want me rebroadcasting anything, which is reasonable, but you know. Okay. Versus the other side. I'm going to just try and make this a little bit easier on myself. Apple TV has F1 now? Yes, Apple TV is where you watch F1 now, so you don't have to pay the subscription. And if you like, you can also log. Oh, is it starting already? No, that's the formation lap. Okay. You can also log into F1 TV with your Apple sign-in credentials and watch it over there, which I think has no commercials, but I guess we'll see. Works on Linux version of OS, at least on Red Bull TV stream. Overall opinion of this kit so far. The cost is very reasonable. I have some beef with the links so far. I will say that I don't like what they did with the links. Didn't get any commercials during Australia. Nice. Well, that's good. And so I'm surprised Hadjar is the only one starting on a soft. It seems very odd. Josh, what are you going to use this Axial Chassis for? New buggy? Not likely. I don't know what I'll use. I'm just building it. If I end up finding a project for it, then I'll use it for that. Otherwise, you know, it's just something to build tonight. Okay, bye. I'm watching right now, Matt, but yes, you can leave. You're excused. All right, we're on bag D. How many D bags do you think there are? I'll tell you what, there's at least 7 of them. It's dark where they're racing. Other side of the world, it is in China. They are racing. Oh, there's 8 D bags. Oh, like the brace is in its own bag. Panhard mount in its own bag. The servo mount own bag. Like, oh shit, there's 2. The left frame rail is in its own bag. So weird. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen a kit that's been separated out like this so much. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just wild. They're individually sealed for maximum freshness, not for individual sale. All right. I do remember one time, I can't remember what kit it was or what reviewer it was, but we had sent out a kit to somebody for review at one time. And I remember like their comment being that we used too many bags and they had a problem with that ecologically. Said, we'll make sure. Here we go. Oh, yep. About time. Sprint is going to start. Miss the old Kyosho and to me a blister pack styles. I think I only ever built one that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Oh, quick one again. Good for Ferrari. Yep, good for Ferrari. Oh, Russell fell way back. Sucker. Nobody wants Russell to win. Oh, Hamilton. That was close. That was close. Okay, I guess you're bolting in like a micro servo mount right away with this thing, which is interesting. Oh, wait, no, Russell is leading. It was Kimmy that fell back. Damn it. Damn it, Kimmy. We need you. All right, we're not going to bolt a servo in at this time. Go to bag D2. There you go, Hamilton. Here for that. So we're going to be in this pass and repass. Oh, no. Hamilton did win here last year. So that would be. Dart. He's distracted now. Countdown to blood. I'm not bleeding tonight. There will not be blood. Damn it. I agree. Now I have Russell and Hamilton for my league. If those two F it into each other, I'll be pissed. Okay, so we got Shock Tower. Go. Hamilton's still holding the lead. Love to see it. I mean, not typically, but this week. I'm only doing one screw? Yes, because then I'm doing a weird plate over top. How does it go? It goes down and overlaps there. Okay. And then this goes not through the chassis. Wow. Okay. This is weird. I don't know what kind of stacking design choice this is. So the next F1 Netflix season will be covering what you're watching now. Yes, that is correct. So the Netflix show comes out at the beginning of the season. So covering the last season. So like getting everybody caught up before the next season starts. Okay. That's very odd. Very, very odd. Okay. We can put this stuff away for now. Kimmy on the move. Well, Claire and Hamilton are still up there messing about. That's fine. Now, Panhard now. D5. We're on to bet. Wait, I didn't open D4 yet, did I? I did. This is labeled D4, though. And that is... What is happening here? That is not those parts. What did I open? D2. D1. Oh, yeah, that should be D6. It says. B2, C, C4. Yeah. No, I did it right. That's weird. So it shows the front bumper and the shock tower there in bag D4. In bag D6 here, they show the rear cross brace and that rear shock tower. You see the little hole up there in the middle? Well, those parts are in this bag labeled D4. Interesting. Interesting. You know George is screaming in his helmet right now. He probably is. I just hope that Hamilton can hold him off for 19 laps. Wait, I didn't need to open this. This is D6. I just opened it because it said D4. So many bags that they get them mixed up. I agree. So weird. So that's okay. We'll come back to that one. D7. Here's D5. Is D5 labeled correctly? No. D5 is supposed to be the panhard mount, and this shows this should be bag D7. So what is in D7? D7 shows one side of that rear shock tower. D3. Yeah, D3 has the panhard mount, and that was supposed to be the one that I opened before. Okay. Whatever. If all these things were just in one bag, it wouldn't have mattered. You're probably missing stuff. Well, let's hope not. But if like all this stuff could have just all been in one bag, and it would have not been a problem. But that's fine. We at least have everything so far. So this goes over top of all of this. We need one screw with thread lock. We have a long countersink that goes down here. Ugh, do not like this. One countersink that goes there. This one needs the thread lock. Wait, why? Thread lock into plastic? I've never seen anybody call for thread lock into plastic. The panhard mount itself is metal, right? It's like a cast metal piece. It's pretty nice. I got no problem with it being cast. That's a nice upgrade, really. But it calls for thread lock to go through that, but it threads into the shock tower. I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm putting the screw in, but I'm not putting thread lock. Well, I say I'm doing that, and then I think I dropped the screw. I definitely dropped the screw, huh? On my lap? There it is. There it isn't. Shoot. I'll find it in a second. Okay, and this long one goes in this lower spot. Just wondering, as a Vanquish employee, shouldn't you not be live streaming the build of a Crash kit? No, it doesn't really matter that. I'm just building a kit. I am also an internet thing doing this, right? Like, oh, there it is. Found the screw. I've been critical of kits my entire RC career, let alone where I've worked. That is what it is. It's a small world. You can either be honest about something or not. It's basically a Coyote straight axle builder's kit. Yes, that is definitely. Oh, Jim doesn't mind that. That is not a. They have no input on that side of things. That was an agreement long before I ever agreed to move it anywhere. Oh, Russell got by. Weak. Okay, bag D6, which I have D5 and D7 over here. What did I figured out they had it as D7. Okay. He's a bad influencer. Yeah. I think that the little issues with like this section would have been a non-issue if they were just all in one big bag like normal. So we're going to put that in there. Did Leclerc just say Lewis is struggling? Since we're talking everything RC tonight, what have you found you like about this kit? You know, the SCX3 chassis is decent overall. The axles are also decent. There's some you know, intricacies about them, but they've always been AR44, AR45. Those were always good axles. The SCX3 chassis is pretty decent as long as it's not using the big SCX3 transmission. The SCX, this is using the like LCXU style. Is, you know, since they're using that style, it doesn't use that big bulky one. It's a much better version. I always said the Base Camp was the best SCX3 they ever released. It was a solid kit. Would you have purchased this kit had they not sent it to you? I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask that, because it would be cheaper for me to just get a Vanquish one, for me personally. But it's like that's a bad example. Axial is a name that a ton of people trust, a ton of people know, and that they will want to go to. And for that reason, some, you know, you're going to have people that are just Axial people. So, you know, that's what they're going to want, which is fine. There's been a ton of solid Axial cars. This is I would say that this is probably a solid option for what Axial has right now. $289 is a pretty good price for that kit. I think isn't this kit like $269 or $279? Ooh, Leclerc got passed. Was that did they pass nicely or did they pass mad? But comparing retail to retail, would you then, if I had to pay retail to retail, I prefer the F10s and the VFD over, and I personally like the VS410 better. $269 to $289. I prefer the VFD. I would use a VS410. But a lot of what makes Axials a great choice are they have some really nice bodies. They have, you know, they have some solid options. There we go. Sounds like the Ferraris are getting a little feisty. Okay, we got all of that. A lot going on there in that rear little brace section. I think that's pretty much just for the body mounts, like all that going on. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Oh, okay. Yeah, since this is the Coyote basically without a body and with straight axles, this is like the mechanism for that clipless system. So that's why there's like so much extra stuff going on, like that appears to be for no reason, unless you're using that body. That is why. So now it's calling for D8, but D8 is shock towers and not the skid plate. This one is labeled D6. But that... Oh, okay. I am wrong, but confused is why. So I'm looking at these and like how we've been going, like the links, it was C1 is build these, C2 is build these. This is different. So this is step D8. Use bag. See that little font right there? Use bag D6. I think that they have probably got everything correct. Use bag D3. Yeah. They are probably 100% correct on their bagging. It is just very confusing with their texts and text sizes, because I'm getting to the point where now we're on like D10, D11. I'm like, there was only D7. So weird. That is confusing. Not a big deal. As I mentioned, all the parts are there in their own way. But what the F? Got to read the fine print. I'm the one who always says I love fine print. I just wasn't reading it. So there you go. We found my mistake. D steps using D bags, D's screws, and D's nuts. Interesting. Chat, clip that. Yeah. What a weird one, man. I think that up to this point, it had basically worked out where that wasn't much of an issue or something. I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Chinese manufacturing can match American quality, pay the difference, and keep your neighbors. Well, I mean, you got to also remember, though, like there isn't really any American-made RC cars, you know, in general. Vanquish isn't an American-made RC car. That, like RTRs, like that's made in Taiwan. It is. I mean, there's no hiding that. There's no intention to hide that either. But they are also, like I said, they're also made in Taiwan. Actually, they used to be made in Taiwan. They changed their manufacturing over to China over the last couple of years. Do I, you know, as a long-term Axial user buyer, do I like that? Not particularly, but you know, this car is still fairly decent. I don't love this manual style, but that's so you may find it kind of funny, but it is interesting that, you know, they changed manufacturing locations and the manuals changed so much as well. And there's a reason for that, is that oftentimes companies, I would venture to guess, this is a guess at best, but companies often do not do their own instructions. They let the factories build the base of their instructions. I would bet you that is the case for this truck. Just because of how, oh, who stopped? Was that an Audi? Was that Hulk? No, it wasn't Hulk, but Hulk's way down the bottom. Safety car. Who stopped? It's got to be Hulk, doesn't it? Of course, because I added it into my team. Okay. But as I mentioned, I'd bet you dollars to donuts. My dad always said that they did the manual for this car. Now Ferrari wants to pit. 5 laps to go. They're going to pit because both Mercedes pit. Interesting. And both McLarens. Okay. Why not? Put some fresh softs on. Yep. My first Friday Night Live in almost 4 years. Dang. Welcome back. Who did they give up track position? Anybody? Be interesting to see that. All right. So both of those are on. Now we're doing a, is this a front or a rear? This is a rear shock tower. Or no, that's a front shock tower. Well, I opened a front first, so we're building that. These instructions are weird. I guess they all decided to. God, I can't believe Hulk's out. I just added him to my team because I was like, there's no way you can drop. For those that are joining at this point, while I'm building this car, I apologize, do have the F1 race on above me. It's up there. Qualifying was yesterday. Qualifying for the sprint race was yesterday. And this is the sprint race is on right now. And then they have to qualify again for the regular race, which will happen after this race. Okay, now we got this weird little cap thing that goes on here. These 2 screws. Why would you challenge them to a new rock bottom? On my league this week, I've got Russell, Hamilton, Sainz. How's Sainz doing? Not bad, up into an 11th. Okay. RC Builds F1 watch along. I know, all at once. So much excitement. All at the same time. I think the pit was a mistake. This will finish under yellow. Oh, dude, you could, if you're right. What a wild call that would be. Ferrari pitting when they shouldn't, not pitting when they should. Okay, now. What in the world? Okay, we got the chassis all built. That's done. We're moving on to the E steps now. Finally broke down and bought same E-clip pliers. Hope they make shock building a little more enjoyable and less pew pew pew. Wait, why is there another? Oh, it was just a replay. Look at all these symbols for these links. Like, what does the 4-way arrow versus the up down? Like, what? Does up down, the 4-way arrow like must mean like make sure this moves or something? I don't know. That's very weird. Okay, let's put this over here. What is bag E? Yeah, bag E, open E1. Step E1, use E1. No rear shock tower. Holy shit, you're right. I forgot a rear shock tower. Happens on a live stream on occasion. What does the key at the beginning of the manual say? Well, I guess we'll have to go back. Well, fucking Lego manual. Are they? I was gonna say it still says they're on lap 15. Yeah. I missed this step because there's already so many freaking there's already so much happening in the back of this chassis. You know what I did note? You guys remember, did you ever build any of the early SCX3 kits and thread into the shock towers? And remember how hard that plastic was and it made like this wild squealing sound? This plastic does not do that. Clearly much different. Damn you, beautiful man. Now I'm watching how fun. Shh, freaking buck dandy. What happened in the last corner? Was it wheel spin or a problem with the gearbox? Oh no. Oh no. Actually, I wouldn't mind, unfortunately, if Leclerc had an issue because it would move Hamilton up a spot. I'm not going to wish it upon him, but if it happens, it happens. Okay, there's that. Oh, back here. That's what I missed. One screw in the rear is all that it gets. Safety car ending. We still got a few laps of racing. Okay, there we go. Now the chassis is finished. Dum-dum. Okay. And we're back. I've never built a 10 III. I own 2 and have never built one. Yeah, no, I know how that goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so we've already built. Oh my God. Bag E is just 3 separate bags of screws. That's a wild way to do things. Interesting. I don't hate it. It's just weird. Night, gent. Good night, Aaron. Thank you for hanging out. There we go. There's our E1. Use bag E1. You seen any action happening? Russell's leading. Ferrari right behind. Norris, Hamilton, nothing. Okay. That one. Then we need this guy, which is that one. What is Kimmy getting past? Behrman got past Kimmy Antonelli. Wow. Okay. Gotta make sure it moves. That's what the arrows in the instructions mean. All right, now it says bag E2, or sorry, step E2, use bag E1. We're working on the front, we're working on the back. Working on the front. Look at all these arrows. Up, down, side to side. All right. Lawson's doing good though. I think I have Lawson this, unless he fell off. Maybe I let him go. E2. Okay. Which ones? That's my front lower. Front lower. Front upper. There we go. So the upper, these just use. It is nice that this freaking chassis doesn't use, or the skid plate doesn't use those ridiculous like screw-on mounts. The classic is a fantastic build. The classic is a great build. I fully agree with that. Front, back, side to side. Go. Those are on. Now we mount up the axle. It says no panhard yet. We don't. Okay, do that later, I guess. Now we got open bag E2. Ah, there's our panhard mount. There was an actual piece in there. Will the stock links work if I toss a set of H10s on my classic? No, that's not just a toss it in there type of situation. There's a lot to try and get H10s under a VS410. For one, servo clearance. You either got to decide if you're going to go panhard or servo on axle still. If you do that, you got no. That's not a toss them on option for you. You're going to have some stuff to do. So TLR 5910 is the M3x14s, okay, and the 12s. Okay, so I need the longer. That's what holds on our upper and lowers. Did it on my IJ. Yeah, the IJ, if you're not, yeah, like I said, it depends on a lot of things. But my IJ has them as well, but that's why I'm saying, like, if you're going to do it, you got to move links to the outside. You have, yeah, there's a lot to do it right. I'm going to Snowstar. What do you mean Snowstar my classic? What does that mean? I need more words than that. Is this a Star Wars reference? That was a fun short 19 laps. Yep, that's the thing with the sprint. It's fast. Not bad. I got 1, 2, 8, 12. Damn, that is a solid performance. I do not think that I'm anywhere near that. I got Russell, so for sure. I don't know where Hamilton ended up yet. Wheelbase won't line up, will it? Like I said, you need new links. You have to do a lot to make that drop in there. It's definitely not something that will line up or drop in type situation. What's Leclerc doing? Why is he putting? Be in second? Bag E4, use bag E2. Okay, we've already opened that. Oh, wait, we're still doing this. We're doing the panhard situation. It's telling me to use thread lock again. Oh, this time it's into metal. This time it makes sense. Shit. Yep. Do the shocks and links use the same screws on the axles? Are all of them the same? Let me think about that. I believe for the most part, but I mean, worst case scenario, just use some spare hardware. Did the Ferraris 1-2 that? How did that happen? Old axles use one screw for both. The old axles. I don't know what you mean there. 2-3. Wow, how did they 2-3? That's what I meant. Did I say 1-2? I meant 2-3. Okay, there's that. When did it say to screw this on? It just already shows it attached. Oh, there they're talking about it up there. Okay. Russell 1 for R23. Yeah, that's. I mean, Russell is my number one, so should be happy about it. But as a race fan, I'm less. Okay. Do you still have the bag full of Blem wheel hubs in your toolbox 4 years later? I burned through that first one. However, I have, when that happened, there was 2 giant bags of it. So I have the second giant bag here. But my original bag, I used all of them. That is the last of them, though. So after those are done, I'll have to go back to taking individuals. Can we do Geoguessr now that the sprint is over? We can just go ahead and pick this live build up next week. Okay. Now we're on to the rear links. Step E5, use bag E3. Josh, you gonna put a floor in your IJ? Probably so. Probably so. Where does that belong? That's there. Those are in. I have an extra screw. I don't feel like this kit is leaving me extra screws anywhere on purpose, though. I guess we'll find out. That is an obnoxious bag of parts. It is weird. It's just like 6 screws. So, how bizarre. How bizarre. How bizarre. What was the final reimbursement for Xfinity on your shit internet debacle? Like $287. Absolute pain in the ass. That is if I, you know, there's one other option for me. I just don't think that I'm going to go through the effort. I had fun with it for a while, going through the effort, but I'm over it at this point. Also, they upgraded my internet to like, because like my internet before, like it was rated for a max of 30 meg upload. That was as fast as you could get here. And I never changed the plan or did anything, but now I have 400 up. I have like between 400 and 800 down and then 400 up, which is nice because I do upload a lot. Now, that's not to say that, you know, the server will necessarily allow that type of speed all the time, but it has helped dramatically. Members won that over-under vote. They sure did. It was very close. It was very close. That was honestly the only reason that I was thinking I should push harder. Just try and win the member vote. The Potato Josh era of LST will always be a classic. It will not. It's trauma-inducing. It is rage-inspiring. Like, how many months did I not do Friday night live streams just because of it, right? I think we pay an arm and a leg for $550 in Ohio. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. Depending on where you're at, it can definitely be a pain. You know, Josh the red-eared streamer. Oh god. Like, not much gets me pissed off, but I'll tell you what, that sure does. Okay. We've got a chassis, axles, and shocks built. Now we have to build a transmission. The real question is, do we do that tonight? Does that feel like a tonight thing? I feel like I have my Starlink Mini for backup internet. Yeah, I have a Starlink Mini as well, but its upload and streaming ability is not that great. Like, it works, but like it wasn't as bad as my other internet, but it wasn't stable enough to rely on it, even with people around here that had it. And from what we've experienced, at least in our, you know, more congested area. So I'm like, Josh, I get up early for work. Time to crash. Later, nerds. Well, even when I don't, tomorrow's Saturday. So what now? This is a, oh, how much do I have left? It's just a builder's kit, so it's really just the transmission. And then drive shafts, electronics trays. This is a next week. I want to make sure there's things for you guys to watch next week. So until next time. That is that. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Too damn much. Okay, I'm just going to put away some of these tools. Hang the shocks so it's bouncy. Hang the shocks. I think that was like one of the last, I don't know. I'd have to open it, bag G and then find bag G9 and then take just the screws out of that. That's going to happen later. Instead, sprint rate, the F1 sprint race is over. Fire up the Guesser. I agree. Time for some GT7. I have to practice to beat you and Matt. Don't play video games. I have a sim rig. You're such a smartass. Now quali at midnight. Red Bull, here I come. Yep, I will be up late for that. But until then, we are going to hit a new window. I'm going to drag this one up. Hold please while I set up the window for this. Okay. That almost set. Hold please. Midnight. Soon, 5 a.m. How was the Origin to drive the first time? It drove great. I did all of the lines that we were all doing without flopping my rig over, which was fun to do with, like, while, you know, like trying to be careful and driving, and like that was fun. I don't do that very often anymore. I drive pretty hard most of the time. So instead, this time I didn't. Just got here. Try China. Oh God. Like there's nothing I could be worse at. I mean, there's almost nothing I could be worse at. Where I could just search for it, I know, but I feel like, oh, here's the thing. I bet they don't have Google Street View in China. They might get a little, yeah, they probably don't have that. Taiwan? That's a pretty small island, at least. Do they have Taiwan? Can I do a quick? There's Taiwan. We can try Taiwan once. Let's see how bad this could be. Sweden? I don't know much about Sweden, but let's try it. Moving, no time limit. Let's try this. Let's see how bad this can go. I've done Taiwan before. 62.25 was my best score. That is very poor. Can it do North America? I can check that next. Let's play this one quick because, you know, why not? Okay. I guess this is a bathing service. I feel like car spotting is my favorite part of Geoguessr. But yeah, I think this is a bathing surface. Let's see. You know, you learn things. Look at that roof detail. That's wild. Okay, this is never going to go well anyway. So let's not spend too much time. So we're either going to be that's not going to be Taipei. So let's say Taichung, and we'll go South District Taichung. Further south. Rural area. Yeah. It's only 39 miles away. That's pretty good. But this is also a pretty small island. Okay. Oh, well, this makes it easy. It tells us right where we're at. So, yeah. We are, I got nothing. Is there any context at all? No. I got no hills. I got no, I mean, I'm by what looks like some sort of levee. So I guess a levee is, you know, gives me something. Does that really mean anything? Or it's not in a mountainous or a hilly area. I feel like I just want to go back. Agriculture area near something. Let's say there. 11 miles. That's not terrible. I'd skate it. That's not a builder's kit. You're right. We did that part, though. We finished it completely. Ready to run. I painted a body live in this room. More industrious area. Anything fun? Small scooter. Look at that little thing. That looks fun. Okay. Let's say we're up closer to Taipei. Over here. Exact opposite. Couldn't have been more wrong and still been in the same country. So amazing. Yeah, that. I feel like agriculture is more up here. Again, also, this was a terrible idea. Mountainous, at least. Mountains are to our mainly to the west. So we're going to say we're on the east side. We're going to say up here. Again, I am garbage at this one. I did worse than I did the last time. Awful. Awful. Just okay. Are we done with that? We glad that's over? Ridiculous. North America. Okay. Canada, Mexico, Alaska, continental 48. Try this one more time. Oh, Canada is so big though that this is not Canada. We are in Mexico. I mean, I guess we could always be further south than just Mexico too, right? All the way down to Ecuador, Nicaragua. I mean, I can move around here, but what is that? You know, what am I really going to find? I don't know enough about Mexico to make any really good. God, it's cool though. It is cool to see the old, I'm sure that's not just the name of the town. Alrighty then. You're going to find Matt's Jeep. I feel like it's in a different continent than we're looking at here. Good looking Ford though. Race truck ready. They probably don't do the V8s down there, do they? More than anything, I'm just having fun driving around. Look at the old four-door Blazer. Okay, let's take a wild-ass guess. Let's say... Isn't this like Oaxaca? Isn't that how that's spelled? I feel like we're just out in the middle, but in somewhere, I'm just gonna say like that. 240 miles. Still bad. I bet it's close to the water. You were right. Did I miss something very, very obvious? Okay, we're in Mexico again. Well, this sign possibly. I don't see anything that says where we're at, right? I don't speak Spanish. Is this the place? Or is that just like the name of somebody? I wonder if this builder's kit will be discontinued after a short time. Maybe as short as my first live stream. The one that I accidentally did as a public one instead of flower and print shop. That's what that, but like, what does the top mean? Just the name of somebody or someplace? Yeah. Feels Puerto Rico? Does Puerto Rico count as North America? I mean, I guess. Like, I don't know if it has to be continental or. Hold on a second. What is Nicole texting me for? This doesn't. Is 4S too much for Q series lights to run off of? Yes. Do not run it on 4S. Yeah, you're gonna build too much heat. See, thank you. If it was a library, I'd have been okay. Unfortunately, it was not. Let's see. Sorry, it's Puerto Rican. That is good to know. I have never been to Puerto Rico. One day, but this is going pretty poorly. Everything Mexico. Oh my God! Look at these old streets. That's amazing. Dang. Okay, we're pretty mountainous. Pretty big area. I mean, could it be Mexico City? Is this not big enough? It doesn't feel big enough. Panda store. El Salvador? Guadalajara? El Salvador, huh? Microbus. Okay. Well, I'm not going to suddenly have an idea of where we are. But I like the El Salvador guess, mountainous. I'm going to send it. While not quite Guatemala, still much closer than I was going to get. Great. Great guess. This feels United States. Rojo Way, Verde. Red Green. Great show. Who remembers Red Green show? But that looks U.S. mail. That looks U.S. road sign. Looks MUTCD compliant. Oof. Look at that motorhome. This feels Arizona, New Mexico, not Texas. Are there mountains in New Mexico? There sure is. Let's say like, I mean, mountains are a little bit further north than Tuscan. Let's just kind of throw her out there. I mean, it could be further. No, it doesn't feel Flagstaff-ish. Let's just throw it down that way. This is up by, this was an hour from me. That was freaking, damn it. That's freaking Nevada. Right by me. Should have known better. I should have looked around more. It's okay. Well, I don't think we're in Nevada anymore. Right there's a Mercury Grand Marquis. 2 of them? 2 Panther platforms? Psh, look at that. Oops. Dang. This is kind of cool. What do you think this Google Maps guy was just like, I hope that this isn't a dead end. Bodies in both trunks. Dang, look at this road. It's so rad. Oh my God, look at this structure. Is there a house above it? There used to be, huh? Not anymore. Dang, that's cool. I bet that was so cool. House up on top of that rock. Oh, dang. You think this guy knew where he was pulling into? This is just a Chevy Tracker in this garage. Wow. What a place. That going to be the ocean? I'm going to guess it's the ocean. Let's just say which side should we guess? Feels like drug cartel. I think that wasn't quite that nice. That place might have armed guards. We should turn back. Puerto Vallarta? That type of area? Nope. Quite wrong. Acapulco? What do you know? Never been. Again, I'm not very cultured. Okay, we're going to do one more before I end this. And we're just going to do the United States. Because that's literally the only thing that I sometimes have a half-assed chance at. That's the type of parties are legendary. That's the type of place where you lose your kidney. But that does look like a wild. I would love to go there. This looks northern Midwest-esque. Does it not? Interesting. This is definitely looking, when you can just about turn in any direction and find a church, you know you're not too far from the Midwest. Let's see. Fencing contractor. Got no names on trash cans. This just looks so Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. This, oh, can't read a phone number. Dang, look at that church. That's some nice brickwork there. Is it school or a bus barn? It's school. Slow kids. My brother went. Dang. Okay. I mean, this just looks small town Midwest all day. God. Wound socket? Wound socket. I've definitely never heard of that. Dang, we went back in time a little bit with this one. Got a Fox body. Is that an old Ford? Is that a second gen Eclipse convertible and like a Taurus? There we go. Man, I got Blackhawks. This means Woonsocket, Rhode Island? I guess. I've never heard of such a place. It definitely doesn't sound like a Midwest town. It just looks like one. But like, they got grain silos and stuff. Can that really be Rhode Island? I would have never guessed Rhode Island. Can't read. FNBO, First National Bank of Omaha. If this is Rhode Island with all these freaking tractors, this does not look like Rhode Island. City of Woonsocket, I guess. Oh, wait, what was that? Is that the shape of Rhode Island? I didn't think that was the shape of Rhode Island. That's not the shape of Rhode Island. This is not Rhode Island. That is not South Dakota either, because this is the state of the shape of the state that we're in. So that is, what is that? Not Oklahoma. I'll bet you $1,000 this is Rhode Island. Unless you're Googling it, we're playing ahead. I just don't buy it. But that also does not look like the shape of any state that Pennsylvania. It's not the shape. I mean, These highway signs, when they have this symbol, is generally the shape state. Shape of the state. South Dakota. You know what? That is South Dakota. They've just condensed it to fit. Because I was going to say, it looked, like I said, it looked like northern South Dakota, definitely. Yeah. Now, as far as where, I'm going to say more, I'm not going to find Woonsocket, I'm sure. Not that there's a lot of cities in South Dakota, but Mitchell. We'll go from Mitchell, the Corn Palace. We'll just call it Mitchell. There we go. 27 miles. That is close enough. I've been to Mitchell. Let's see, the world's only corn palace. Been here before. If you never have, it's not worth the trip. Okay. So are we northwest or northeast? I mean, this could be like Montana, Idaho as well, but this feels a little bit. I knew it sounded familiar. That part of the world is boring AF. You think this is the Midwest? This just does not look Midwest tree. There's too much pine. It could be, but time traveled again. War, POWMIA, Jerry's Bar, Welcome Fisherman. Ooh, we could be Minnesota. This feels Minnesota-esque. I got you 1,000 credits on GT7 later. Minnesota. It does feel very Minnesota. Like it could be on the north side like that. Boy River Log Chapel. That feels Minnesota. Yeah. That. Cass County Sheriff. I know a Cass County, Nebraska, but this doesn't look like Cass County, Nebraska. Hobo Day, Labor Day. Now I know that there's like the Hobo Convention in Iowa every year, but this is not Iowa. I would bet you money on that. What is that? Boy River. That doesn't help me at all. I've never heard of that. I'm going to just kind of lean towards Minnesota. This feels very difficult. Let's do good old Mizzou. This doesn't feel Missouri-like. The trees just, it's not that level and that many pine trees doesn't feel right in Missouri. It said Welcome Fisherman. There's so many lakes, rivers in Minnesota that's where I'm thinking. Let's see. North Baynard. I've never heard of I don't know where that is. There's a Hobo Day in South Dakota. North Baynard. I don't know what North Baynard means though. And the thumb of Michigan was the other one. Cass City. Hey, that just popped up. I mean, how far could it be if we're in Cass County from Cass City? It was Minnesota. You led me wrong. Should have went with what you guys said earlier. See, I took some bad advice. I should have gone with my gut. I don't know Minnesota well enough and Michigan. I don't know either of them enough. Far from Cass City. Ooh, this looks northeast. This style of rock construction, this feels northeast. This much on-street parking too. C4 Corvette convertible with the salad shooters. Looks kind of ghetto, Ohio. This feels Pennsylvania. I mean, maybe Ohio. The roads are a little wider. Pennsylvania is so narrow usually. Pastor Scheitzenauer Foreman, Sheets, Violetville. Yeah, no, do not block this drive. This just feels. $800. What area code is 800? Is that Utah? Hawaii? That's Hawaii. Oof. Yeah, this just feels Pennsylvania. Maryland, Baltimore? I could, yeah. Yeah, sure. It's got that feel. I see, just looking to see if anything pops up that says Violetville. It does not. We're going to go with Cockeyesville. Just because who to guess that there's a place called Cockeyesville? Oof. Man, this is a flat, wet area. What's this? Louisiana, Mississippi. What are those called? Fleur-de-lis? What are these things called? This feels Louisiana style. Just the foliage, the sandy soil. But I got nothing else to go on. Oklahoma. I mean, it just looks too green to be Oklahoma is my only thought why it's not Oklahoma. Because I know what you mean. Could be California. This is not California. If this is California, I'll eat this hat. Oh, shit. Okay. No, not a dead end. I mean, the further I go, the more it does look like This is just, I mean, some of the stuff reminds me of, I mean, this could just be a flooded river, you know, bottom area. You got free range chickens. Oh no, that's a permanent pond. This man's got a pontoon. No, that's not a pontoon. That's a John boat with a roof. Could be my dad. Okay, that's the Delta. This can't be the California Delta. Or are you talking Louisiana Delta? It doesn't look quite gnarly enough to be Louisiana Delta to me. Soldier Road. Doesn't do anything for me. Louisiana. I knew it. I knew it, Louisiana. Let's see. I don't want to go too far. So I'm just going to kind of hedge our bets. There we go. You know, that's it was much further south. It was closer to, but yeah, okay. I'll take that instinct level. Let's no. All right, we only got a couple left, and then we're done. Oof. Wow. Meek Lake Drive. We are in a fancy area. Abdul for governor. Can I go up here? Wait. This is quite the interesting corner of Rich and Ballin. No kidding. What is this? What are these condo type? I don't know where we're at, but I feel like I want to visit. I'm going to end up in a minimum security white collar prison. That is not an MUTCD compliant speed limit sign. That is not enforceable. That doesn't mean anything. You ever get pulled over or something like that? I don't know where we are yet, but this is Beak Lake. Wow. I'm just, the HOA police will be speeding on the golf cart. That's no kid. Look at this. This is Michigan? I'm guessing Midwest Michigan sounds right. Really? I was unfamiliar with your game, Michigan. I am impressed. This looks quite fancy. It's got to be near the metro, right? I got no idea. 2.5 miles. Wow. That was, what a place. Impressive. I like what you did there. Okay. I appreciate you all. We will finish that builder's kit next week. So that is going to do it for this one. And, oh, good timing. I've got, no, Tyler Boss will be here to pick up my town car in 10 minutes. Look at that. So thank you, everybody. We will see you on the next one. I actually forgot to hit end stream. I just left the studio. So now now it's over.